Hello guys, today we're going to do a UDK tutorial on how to create a side view in UDK. Now I should mention just before we begin that the aiming and shooting system doesn't really work that well with this, and there is a way to do this if you go into the coding of some of the coding of UDK. It's just to change one line, but this is just a quick tutorial and showing you how you can do it without doing that. I'd recommend this to be used for like small platform games, things like that. Nothing where your gun would be required in this view. It just simply doesn't work that well. So let's start. First thing you're going to need is a little rectangle. I put some black material on the outside of this, so it's harder to see in this view. I'll just select one of the sides so you can actually see here. It's just a rectangle that I created hollow with the brush here. I just clicked on the hollow setting and entered values. Now I'm just going to unclick hollow because I don't need that. Once you have that done, you're going to want to use the remove or subtract CSG tool with the red builder brush to the size that you want to subtract, and just take out one of the walls of your rectangle so you can actually see into it. As you can see here, you can see along it, and then you're just going to want to drop in a point light. Just this is just my quick little level to show you how it all works. Okay, so let's get into it. You're going to want to right click about here and add in a player start. Just right click, go to add actor, come to player start, and just rotate that so it's facing the right way. Press space with it selected to get into the rotational, space again to get into the scaling, and space again to get back to the mover. I'm just going to move it forward slightly. And the next thing that we need to add is a camera. So we just go into the content browser, come to actor classes, and then you're going to want to come down here into common, and there's camera actor. Click on it and drag it in. Now I'm just going to adjust this slightly. I don't want it to be a straight on view. It's about the right height. I'm just going to press space and rotate it to have a downward angle slightly. That's very good. The next thing I'm going to do is go into kismet, right click and add a new object variable using the camera. Just going to drag this to the side slightly. Apologize for any background noise. There's some construction work going on here. So I'm going to click on this. I have to click on the player start and create an object variable from it also. Okay, so that's good. The next thing that we need is a player spawn block. Okay, so you're going to want to right click and come into new event and come down to player and player spawned. Now you're going to want to have the spawn point connected to the player spawned object variable, and you're going to want, next thing you're going to want is to add in a toggle cinematic. Sorry, got a bit tongue-tied there. You're going to want to add in a toggle cinematic, and to get that you're going to right click, new action, come down to toggle, and here it is, toggle cinematic, and you're going to connect that to the out of the player spawned to enable, and you're going to connect the target to the player, but we have no object variable to represent the player, so we're just going to get one very quickly. Right click, come to new variable, go down to player, and you're just going to want to go into the properties and uncheck all players, so it's only applying to the actual player, not a bot, say. Then you're going to want to go to the toggle cinematic and come into its properties and uncheck every one of these boxes except for disable turning. Just going to drag this out slightly. There we are, everything's disabled. And you're just going to want to leave disable turning enabled. The next thing you're going to want is an attach to actor block. We right click, new action, actor, attach to actor, and attach that into the cinematic. Attach the target to the player, and you're going to want to attach the camera to the player. So the camera that we added in earlier is now attached to the player. Now the next thing that we're going to want is a set camera target block. It's going to be right click, new action, and come down to camera, set camera target. Now again we feed this into the in, and the target again is going to be the player, and the cam target is going to be the camera. I think that's about it, guys. There's one more thing that I'm going to add just in a moment. I'm just going to show you that this should work. Right click, Yes, I didn't set a game mode, that's why the player isn't visible there. So if I just quickly hit View, World Properties, set a game mode, I'm just going to go UT Game, UT Deathmatch. I'll show you an example of how the gun doesn't work also now. You can see here. The movement keys are still W, A, S and D. W for forward. You can move side to side, and if I just shoot, perhaps shooting is also disabled. And you can see this works, but one problem is we can just walk right off the edge. Now to fix that, what we're going to do is we're going to add in blocking volumes. The blocking volumes will keep it so that the player is on a rigid path and creating more of a side-scroller feel. You can have depth in your level also just by not putting the blocking volume in their way. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into our 4 views here with our red builder brush selected so we can see it. And we're going to click on our geometry mode. When you're using geometry mode, always make sure you're in world here instead of local, because if you're not, it just it gets a bit messy. So you're going to want to click on your red builder brush and drag it in slightly, and just drag it the full length of your level. A bit further perhaps, I'm going to drag it a little bit further. It doesn't have to be totally accurate for this tutorial. Just going to drag this in slightly so it's slightly smaller. And I'm going to make sure that it's in line in my other 2 views. Always use your other 2 views to make sure that things are in line. That looks pretty good. And now we're going to come down here to volumes, add volume, come up here at the very top, blocking volume. Now if we move the red builder brush, you can see a little pink line has appeared, and that's our blocking volume. Now we're going to want to add one here also, so we can't just walk off the edge. So I'm going to go into our side view here. I'm just going to drag it out to the side here. And I'm going to make this slightly bigger, again by going into geometry, selecting the side and dragging it. I'm going to make this slightly bigger so the player is kind of wedged in a tunnel. There's about good. And just go add volume, blocking volume, and there it is. Just going to drag it to the side so you can see it there, our pink volume. So next thing is just rebuild paths very quickly. You can ignore those errors, they're not important. And just hit play. And now if we try to move from side to side, we're blocked from getting to the very edge, and we can run right to the end. Thank you guys for watching, and please check out more videos on the Online Design Teacher YouTube channel.